Whoa, whoa. Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we explored this research facility and located the submarine within. We have lowered it into the water and discovered that, while operational, it cannot make the descent to the abyssal station from this location. We need it moved to L2, which I believe is located here, but we can't move it ourselves. We don't have a jet ski able to move it. I don't think you can even use but maybe I'm wrong about this. The largest jet skis can tow other jet skis behind them, but I don't know if one of them could tow the submarine. The only person we're aware of who has the means to do so would be the ferryman, since his ferry has a large enough crane to grab that and move it where we want it. So we will need to locate the ferryman and move it to L2. Off screen, I've looked up how to get the ethereal torch, and I'm a little confused. It sounds like we can probably learn. So the torch is acquired by finding a shard, from what I can tell. That shard is acquired by raiding the Soberian graveyard. But in order to find it there, you have to have knowledge about a certain body that's located within in order to find it within that corpse. It's located within a certain body part, and it's a bit randomized as to which corpse it will be in. So, to learn about the location, we can learn about it from 3 different sources, it seems. The ferryman, Jaguar, or from expecting a hammer, if the Underrail wiki is correct. Wow! All nasty enemies. Okay, so let's activate our shield to be immune to the side crabs. And we'll want to focus on the hermit crabs first. Good. Maybe we can run around the corner? No. I can't get out of line of sight. Oh, we can for at least one of them. Can we set some on fire? We can set all 3 on fire if we get lucky. We did! Perfect! Alright, let's move up, and since the hermit crab took the most damage, we're going to recursion the hermit crab. And then stab the side crab a bit. The colossal is worrying, but we're going to go after these first. We already began working on one of them. Okay, now they're no longer afraid of fire. Good, the hermit crab's down. Okay, well, that didn't go where we wanted. Sure. We run up, stab you. Nice! Incapacitated it. The colossal crab can't reach us. Its friend was blocking the way. Let's just pass the turn again. All those nice 15% misses. That's right, incapacitation attempts. That was not so tough. Okay, let's see. What other eyeballs do we get? Oh! The crab corpse is so far away. Let's get it. Hopefully the guy doesn't turn on. And I think that now does it for all the rooms located here at this research facility. Alright, what do we not need on us? We don't need the crab carapaces. We don't need this. Resources barrel. And I think that does it. let's wait for the geysers to go down. So what can we talk about? So, we'll talk with the ferryman. No matter what, we need the submarine moved. And we'll see if we can talk to him about the relics he's found and get him to tell us about a shard, if he can. If he won't do so, or we can't learn it from him, we can begin the process of trying to befriend Jaguar. Although it's been so long, I don't remember the steps needed to do that. And if that fails, which it likely will, then we can raid savage villages until we find an item we need to look at, which is somewhere supposedly in the northeastern section of these waters. It would be someplace over here. If after about, we'll say, 2 or 3 videos, I still can't figure it out, viewer, we'll just pass on it. We don't need the shard in order to explore the Abyssal Station. But it would let us do something that I've never done before. What else is happening? So I decided to start recording another FPS. We're going to be recording a game called Cultic, and I've got the first one of it done. So you guys should expect to see that soon for the channel. I can probably finish that game before fall arrives. If I do 1 video per chapter, and there's about 11 chapters, and every other day, it should be done by the time July rolls around, assuming I start uploading it right away. Oh, okay, so hold on. Let's see if we can find the ferryman. Let's also... Okay, we do have that belt on. There's an area he goes to around here. It'll be marked with an anchor, I think. Ooh, oh! Darn it! Just one of you, though. It's not so bad. There was another, but apparently it didn't want to help its friend. Oh, I forgot we were affected by that. Okay, now we need to heal ourselves a little bit. Hey! He was out here. Perfect. Okay, so let's get all the fog of war gone. And then we can dock. Hey, ferryman? You find him busy as always. I guess I could use a break. What do you need this time? First off, show me what you have. Do you have anything he wants to purchase? Oh, we can get rid of all these bullets. And what can we get for that? 74 Stygian coins. Sure. So let's see. So I can't talk to him about something that looks like a shard from these. Let's ask him a few questions that we've been avoiding so far. Can I ask you a few personal questions? He looks at you, moves his pipe from one end of his mouth to the other, and speaks. You really want to know more about me? I'm an annoying little bugger, I know. Yeah, you got that right. One question. You got one question. I don't believe I've ever asked him about the boat, so let's ask him about his ship. What can you tell me about your boat? My boat's older than I am. In fact, it's so old, it's been modified so many times, we can hardly think of it as being the same boat. Yet somehow, in essence, it is still the same one. It had, for instance, an internal combustion engine, diesel-powered, before it was converted to electric. 2,500 kilowatts of power. like that of a tugboat. It's got its share of problems due to its age. He looks at the crane. But the crane never failed me. No matter the depth, no matter the weight, it retrieves. He draws a draw from his pipe, holding it with his right hand before unleashing a curtain of smoke. It retrieves. He said one question, but we're able maybe to ask about other things. Let's try. How old are you? You already asked your question. He blows some smoke upwards and takes a deep, calm breath. We know we can't talk to him about the monolith. Every time we mention the ruins, you'd start silently staring into the water. What is that supposed to mean? It means you know something, but don't want to tell me. Tell you? Who do you think you are, kid? The Invictus. Your title is meaningless. You are lost. But, in the grand scheme of things, so am I. You, me, the rest of Underrail, the poor suckers who lived here, and those skulls who now serve as insect and fish homes for the coral to grow on. He takes a long draw and exhales the smoke to the left. He gazes at you while holding his pipe, then takes another draw, exhaling to the right this time. Well, perhaps I do that. Staring at the water thing. Haven't noticed. Must be subconscious. Yeah, he nods. Subconscious. 'Cause it's down there, kid. The center. You stare at the surface of the sea, but only see your own reflection. You break the surface, and see nothing but the unlit depths. The center. It's somewhere down there. Everything's sinking towards it. Down, down. These Lemurians, that's how they called themselves, they even built toward it. And they met their doom before us. Before, but only seemingly. We're all sinking together. Tell me more about these things, the Lemurians. You speak as though you know a lot about them. If you want specifics, I know little. A little about these Lemurians. Perhaps even less than you do. What I do know, though, is that they were people who attempted to ascend through technology. Biocorp 2. And many, many others, all doing essentially the same, but differently. They thought they could emulate or even return to the surface, or beyond. Look what became of their endeavors. But it ain't the fate that awaits only the deluded rushes of us as well. Only we are lighter and thus sink more slowly, but we do sink. We do make our descent into center, one way or the other. One way or the other. You keep mentioning it, but what is the center? This descent into the center? You really want to know, kid? Yeah. You think you can handle something which could change your whole perspective on life, existence, reality to itself? I can handle anything, old man. Bring it on. We'll see. He walks to the cabin, pouring the ash from his pipe into the sea along the way. There he kneels, effortlessly at his age, beside the bed and grabs a small plastic box from underneath it. It is a simple dark brown box with a worn-out label. In it, another pipe, superficially similar to the one he had been smoking up until now, but with one rougher texture and more prominent signs of age. Inside is also a nylon bag filled with what appears to be tobacco. After sprinkling said tobacco into his pipe, dosing it carefully until satisfied, he uses a tamper, a pen-shaped tool with a wide, flat head, to gently compress it. He then repeats the process 2 more times before putting the pipe tool away. He takes a draw, not yet lighting his pipe, and returns all the items but the pipe back into the box, which he also returns to its original location. He walks back to you, stroking his yellowish mustache with his left hand, eyes glued to the rusty deck. The ferryman then pulls out a lighter. Descent into the center, you say? He says and lights his pipe, puffing a few times until it's properly lit. Then he takes a long first draw and expels a thick cloud of smoke that has a unique, full-bodied, musty smell, evocative of memories of an unexperienced past. He takes a moment to relax, to stare at the relatively calm sea. Then he looks you dead straight in the eye. We can begin, kid. What I'm about to tell you are my own thoughts, observations, ideas, my own philosophy, which I based on years and years of study and experience. He puffs some more smoke. I looked within myself and the surrounding world, its history and culture, and lack thereof, and I've read the old books and books older still, and I studied and compared their contents in an attempt to extrapolate the ultimate truth. This is what I've inferred. This reality of ours stretches in a certain direction, drawn by something I refer to as the spirit of gravity. This direction leads to true death. So our intelligence lets us actually respond a certain way, so we're going to pick one of those two options. I think number 2. It feels like that's what this was all going to be leading to. Well, is that the case? So, viewer, I've never actually queried the Ferryman on this stuff. I've always decided to leave him alone. He wants to be left alone, and I respect that desire, and thus never pursued him. Most of the time I play this game, I play it with I roleplay the characters I'm playing, and none have been too pushy. This is the first time I'm actually doing this, so I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to navigate through his dialogue here, and if I mess it up, oh well, we're going to continue to soldier onward as best we can. So, both of the first two intelligence options deal with humanity as a whole. So, we'll go with number 2. Do you mean to say that our collective path as a civilization leads to inevitable doom? In a sense, yeah. And not only the path of civilization, mind you, but of individuals as well. Them as well. However, allow me to explain further. You see, at the very top, way up there, that's where the origin is. It is the highest point of existence, free from all hardships, complete weightlessness. And then there's the center, where true death awaits. The spirit of gravity I mentioned. It's the call of true death. Everything that exists, you, me, communicates, and communities and entire civilizations heed this call. Everything that lives must grow old and heavy, and eventually die. So the closer you are to the upper limit, the longer it would take you to eventually reach the center of gravity this guy refers to as. Almost like it's a black hole that sucks everything into it eventually. Or rather, everything is affected by it. Interesting way to look at society and life. Both 1 and 2 are correct. And as for number 4, yeah, it's more like a black hole that sucks everything into it, no matter where it was located. But I suppose he could have defined one as a top and one as a bottom. Yeah, number 2 sounds right to me as well. He's representing, as time goes by, you are pulled down to the center. A vertical decline. Interesting. So you represent the passage of time spatially, as a vertical decline, am I right? Good, yeah, you understand. But there's a catch. The passage of time is but an illusion. It is simply a way in which we perceive this directional nature of reality. Its physical manifestation is the tendency of humanity to dwell in ever greater and darker depths of the earth. The humanity that was closer to the origin dwelled among the stars. You understand? Reading the sentences there, it sounds as if he's saying that we're going back to living in, well, not back, because we wouldn't have started in the caves. We would have started in the stars. But keep in mind that everyone here in Underrail has only known, well, maybe with a precious few exceptions, have known living in caves. They've never been anywhere else but this. The outside world, the above world, it's been off limits to everyone for unknown reasons. So, once again, 1, 2, and 3 are the answers. I'm going to pick one of those because our intelligence has provided us with these ways to respond to him. So, we have, I think so, it's like space and time combined, space-time, but represented through a single dimension. If I understand correctly, the spirit of gravity is pulling us toward the center no matter what. And what we see as passage of time is fundamentally the passage of our descent. Time is place. This point in time we're currently in is the physical point of our decline. And we also have, there is a correlation between our location, the physical world, and our, for lack of a better term, metaphysical distance from the center, this true death. And time does not pass separately from this descent. Oh, that's interesting, the third one. Let's go with 3. There is a correlation between our... Sorry, I just read it, but we'll read it again. There is a correlation between our location in the physical world... Oh, is that right? Yeah. And our, for lack of a better term, metaphysical distance from this center, this true death. And time does not pass separately from this descent. Pretty much. But time, it ain't something that follows the descent, but rather a term we invented to describe a certain phenomenon we experience. In actuality, there is no time, for time is place. But still very good. You seem to be understanding things. Since you don't appear to be having problems comprehending what I'm trying to communicate, I think I could safely proceed and say a word or two about true death. Now go for it. He takes a draw. True death is the ultimate death. The permanent death. This has been discussed in quite a few other games, right? Like the... Oh, what were they called now? In Planescape Torment, the true death was those who would get oblivion by believing that the first... I don't want to call them a cult. Ideology? That you encountered in the game. But I can't remember what they were called now. I should play that game again at some point. We have... So we're going to go with number 1. Meaning that death is an illusion. Yes. But which death? True death is far from an illusion, and means the end of existence. False death, it is merely physical. Oh, so like individuals and cities die would be merely physical, but true death would be the elimination of everything that they held as a belief system as well. It's just gone. Is that right? Because you see, false death does not release one from descent. One will just be reborn again where he left off, or even lower. Suicide will only not help you, it will instead confuse you and further remove you from the origin. Oh no, this is something different. You understood the essence. That immaterial part of us remains even though our corporeal mechanism ceases to function. And that allows us to return and continue with our descent. True death is the literal death, material and immaterial. I think that kind of describes what I was saying earlier. And it is not a desirable outcome. That's what I've inferred. He puffs some smoke. So what is true literal death, actually? Death is a sensation of action. False death, only of physical, and only until you're reborn, while true death is of all action, and your whole essence. False death is not death at all, but most will know no better. He puffs smoke. Oh, is this a referral to thus reloading the game and doing it again? I wonder. Because 6 referred to that as a certain frame, is how I believe he put it. A hint that us reloading the game and trying again is indeed part of the Underrail world. So maybe the Ferryman's referring to this kind of thing as well. So of the answers, number 2, I don't know. So, number 1... number 1, that's actually... I like number 1. Oblivion, effectively. There is nothing else. You never come back again. Everything is over. It's your life before it's the world that you knew before you were in it, which we've all experienced before. Which is to say, we haven't, and we can't. There's nothing. I like that. Number 2, I don't know if we can get to origin. We'd have to be perfectly in it. We couldn't be even a fraction of a step away from it, or we would eventually reach down into the descent. The center. I don't care about number 3. Number 4 is, that sounds like a problem for future Tim to worry about, which I have used before, and future Tim hates past Tim. Or some of those decisions past Tim has made. We'll go with number 1. True death doesn't sound like such a bad thing, then. You simply cease to be. I can imagine worse. You don't cease to be. Your action does. And whatever direction you take, it must and it will. The only question is, in which manner? By returning to the origin, or by dying a true death? In true death, your action will be accentuated to an unbearable vibration, and in that manner transformed. Now, what are these vibrations? What happens after that? Old books. They all describe it differently. He slowly puffs smoke. Some focus on its material aspect, others on its immaterial one. But what they all agree upon is that it concerns the entirety of you, your whole existence, your body, and your essence. They also agree that true death, no matter which form it has been explained through, is unbearable. I feel like we should have taken a Cerebrix before we did this conversation, because I feel like we're not getting intelligence answers anymore because our intelligence is not high enough. Well, I'd only an 8. But it's too late. We have to continue with this. So... we can say number 1, which agrees with the Ferryman. We can say number 2, which is that we're doubtful and question how it was that he came to this realization. We can hint at number 3, which agrees with the Ferryman in a way. Number 4 is once again more of an answer that's similar to number 1. Number 5 is, I don't know about all this. And maybe the people who put in this research also weren't so sure. Or rather, they bent what they wrote to... or rather, there was an expression in the Fourth Quest of Glory, which was real scientists write their hypothesis in pencil because they don't want to be wrong. Number 5 is a little bit related to that, because it's like they wanted to see something, and they wrote all their books to add support to what they wanted rather than what actually occurred. Number 6 is just an insult. So we'll go with 5. I don't deny that we should look beyond reality. But what if those people saw something they wanted to see, and not something that truly is? Reality is deceptive, more so due to our imperfections and the imperfections of our senses. Thus none of the old books are without false observations and deductions. But once you look at all of them, the falsities, vain, and the intersection of human thought can help us glimpse into the fundamental qualities of reality. For even humanity recognizes its own essence to some degree, but often ignores it. He puffs smoke. Believe what I say, or don't. Fine with me. I'm just trying to give a truthful description of something I deem to be of supreme importance. But know this. You cannot strive if there is nothing to strive for. Otherwise, you're just stumbling pointlessly through the darkness of existence. Oh, I can agree with that. Yep, you gotta have a goal that you want to try to meet. We can ask about number 1, which we didn't ask about before. It feels as if this is a current dead end for us. Like, we can't go back to the previous concept? we're stuck here about true death now. If every death is a false death and we will always be reborn, how do we know if we've died before? It takes a moment to think about it, puffing while doing so. We can't know. We can't, because it would be necessary to look at ourselves from a perspective that would allow us to obtain the means to justify our belief that we have experienced a false death. And that perspective we cannot assume. I don't think so. I don't know if I died a false death before. And ultimately, it ain't important. For when it comes to looking at the whole, there is no such boundary there at all, since it's a false death, and hence not a death at all, and it did not happen before, nor is it about to happen, as time is just an illusion. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is something about the saving and reloading of the game, based on our answer number 4. I guess we'll say it. I have this strange feeling that I keep dying and returning to life. It's as though these deaths keep setting me back, yet I don't actually remember anything or otherwise possess any evidence. Interesting. Can you describe this feeling? Frustration at dying thanks to RNG. Sorrow that we have to potentially reload the game and have you guys unfortunately watch me do another thing I've done before, but you guys can just skip ahead in the video. Determination to win the second time or make better choices. I have yet to rage quit the game. This belief sometimes that the RNG has maybe missed 6 times in a row with 95% chance of hit with every single time. We'll go with 1. Frustration. His face disappears into thick smoke. In the case that what you're feeling is true, then you've answered your original question. However, it may not be. In the case that you do possess somehow a means to sense it, then it is something I and many, and most others, do not. False death is something beyond our senses, for it destroys them. That is one of its consequences, and that is why it fools us. As with many other things, we cannot rely on, I can't pronounce this word, empiricism alone to give us the answer. We can, however, acquire the knowledge of its existence. Two is, I think, a good one to answer with here. Number 1 is also a slippery slope. I mean, common sense is a nice thing to have, but just because it makes sense doesn't to you might not make sense to someone else, so we can't really rely on that. We'll go with 2. We can make sense of things even if we haven't experienced them. Moreover, we constantly rely on the presuppositions and the things we've been taught. The true answer lies in wisdom, for it encompasses these crucial things: experience, knowledge, and the capacity to understand and reconcile the former two in order to form new knowledge. From wisdom, also, it inevitably emerges humility, which evicts the childish arrogance and turns the mind to a fertile soil for understanding things supreme. For knowledge is, in simple terms, a justified, true belief. Falsities can be believed, but not known, as they are, by definition, false. Thus, knowledge requires truth. Truths are not to be believed, also, that are not to be believed, also cannot be known. For how can you claim to know if you yourself do not believe? Thus, knowledge requires belief. But belief is something, even if true, is not knowledge. For without justification, it might be just a guess, blind luck, and that is not knowledge. Thus, knowledge requires justification. Oh, I like this. Where did justification come from, you ask? That is something we can debate until our descent into the center, kid. But I can tell you where it doesn't come from, and that is from profane quantification, the reduction to the confines of what is available to the senses. Alright, well, let's return to this later. I'd like to move on to a different concept now. Fine. So we talked about the spirit of gravity, we didn't talk about the origin much, but we're going to take a break and come back to him and maybe talk about this stuff later. I think Origin is the only thing that we have yet to talk to him about. He knows a puff smoke. Alright, so now that's another topic we can discuss with him. Can we talk about the monolith again? Maybe we should go, so we can get a piece of the monolith. Maybe we should do that. And maybe then we can show it to the ferryman, and that will unlock more conversation with him. Well, actually, no matter what, we need to tell him about the submarine. So about lifting heavy things. Need something, kid? I need a submarine moved to a certain location. A submarine? The one at the geyser facility. You've seen it, haven't you? I have. I've seen it through the gate. But there have been many times, I've been there many times, but never inside the facility itself. Locked. I can't lift it onto the boat because it's too large from what I've seen. But I can tow it. The question is, why would I want to do such a thing? I'll pay you. Look, kid. Normally I wouldn't give a rotten fish about moving that submarine for you. I have this feeling doing so would... would bring an end to this whole chaos much quicker. But I'll need to cover my expenses. Where do you need it moved? To the southeastern part of the Black Sea, there's supposed to be an elevator there leading to a deep-sea mining station. The submarine itself is ready to be towed. Ah, yes, in the Grim Jetter's territory. I can do that. I can do that, kid. That'll cost you 700 Charons. Here you go. He counts the pockets of coins. Fine. I'll tow the submarine as soon as I'm done here. Anything else before I leave, kid? Do you have some kind of two-way radio on the boat? Yes. Mind giving me the frequency? He nods. Fine. Just let me check. He walks to his cabin and pulls out a radio station from underneath his bed. He blows away the thick coating of dust from his primitive sturdy box before swiping some of the more from a microphone and a bent antenna, which he promptly bends back to approximate straightness. He turns the radio on, turns a few knobs, and then returns to you. The frequency is 22.787 megahertz. Again, 22.787 megahertz. If you become a pest, I'll switch the thing off. I will. He takes a draw. Great. I'll call you if I need something. He nods and puffs smoke. Alright, I'm off. Some other time. So I didn't see any way for us to talk to him about the shard. So I'm going to hope that we might be able to do so by pursuing number 3. But I'm going to go get the shard piece from the pirate base first. See ya, kid. Okay. Let's get this little area marked on the map. That's kind of cool. I like the discussion between you and the ferryman, or what you can have there. Feels like there's a hive here. There is not. Why don't we dock here then? Search the sack. Pots. No, I haven't seen very many shrimp in the pots yet. Oh, we haven't really been to places where the savages have set up shop, as it were. There, they tend to have more things in their pots and sacks. Let's get this on the map, too. We're in the area. We'll get more of the map fully uncovered. I still really like the things like this, the waterfall coming from above, as it hints that we're not in an actual ocean. Well, we are in an ocean, but it's linked to what's above us because we're underground. Sorry, everyone. I need to keep pulling up the map. I would like to avoid more battles against sea serpents. I also don't want to end up in a fight against Aegis Incorporated. Okay, this should be safe enough. South? So the submarine should now be also located at that location here. So we are ready to effectively end the Black Sea DLC whenever we would like. I will attempt to get this torch, though. Actually, we can duck our jet ski here. Oh, let me recharge our jet ski really quick, too. Or not so really quick. Donnie? I need stuff. Alright, so... we could sell him this gold ring that we picked up from the gentleman back in Core City with the other Praetorians. 83 bucks. He's got $1,000 on him. Did he not? He might not have recycled his inventory since the last time I was here. Holy crap, he sells a ton of greater fusion cells now. Okay, but really, I don't need a whole lot of this, if anything. Take care, Donnie. Alright, so we're climbing back up the cliff face. Well, not really that, but going up. Let's go ahead and examine the fang a little more. We should also recharge our spear. And potentially our knife. Yeah, knife also needs recharging. Always keep things topped off. This way we have less weight we're dealing with. So what else, Tim, is going on at the moment here? What can you talk about with the viewers? I didn't write anything down, unfortunately. Alright. What games are you playing this Halloween? Because that's going to be upon you before you know it. We have another 3 months until it's here. I can't believe it. This year flew by, despite me basically being in hospitals for the past 6 months. Well, Consuming Shadow will definitely be played again. I did copy my Occult Chronicles to this computer, but I don't know if it will play here yet. I didn't fire it up, so I should check that. Cryptic Comic Games, I believe, write things to your registry, or used to ensure that you install the game properly, as opposed to just copying the files around. So if that's going to be the case, I don't have the installer any longer. We may be not playing a Cryptic Comic game again on the channel, unfortunately. Armageddon Empires was the only game that Vic Davis moved over to Steam. None of the other ones were. Solium Infernum was redone with different balance changes by... what was the company called now? I can't remember. They've done a few other games too. They're a turn-based tactical strategy company, or that tends to be the games they like supporting and making. And they were the ones who took Vic's Armageddon Empires and made, with Vic's permission and or help, made another version of it. What's it called? The Ruins of Old Earth or something like that? What was called? I don't own that game. I did not like it as much as Armageddon Empires from what I had seen. And I did have it briefly, but refunded it after about an hour. I just preferred Armageddon Empires in every way than the remake. It was more complex, there were more different cards, the card art was better, there were more factions. I did like some of the changes that they did for the Old Earth game, how your positioning on the battlefield mattered more because of what you could hit and what you could not hit. I'm babbling about something no one cares about. I'm sorry. Let's continue to play this. You approach the featureless yet oddly geometric remains of Steve Heave, the late pirate. Oh right, we know about him now. Inspect the statue. Whatever force killed Steve, it did so in a truly unique and frightening fashion. His body appears to have been transformed the moment the pick came in contact with the monolith, either turned into or encased in a shiny crystalline material, with sideways spikes radiating away from the monolith. You don't know what the material in question is, but you might take a sample with you so it can be tested. Try breaking off one of the spikes and taking it with you. It took some effort, but you managed to break the piece off. The only thing left is now bring the sample to someone who can analyze its composition. Well, that person would probably be someone in Southgate Station. Actually, it is. I think we've done this before. We did it with I think it was Gabriel, because with Garrett I never snuck through the pirate base, nor did I fight the pirates. Gabriel was the first person to wipe them all out and make it up to the statue. I don't believe we did this with Decker. Wiped out, I think, the pirates, but didn't climb the cave here to get the statue. I think we left the cave alone? Like, we didn't wipe out all the pirates with Decker? I can't remember. Okay, well, our food's about to expire, so let's eat some more. And we'll go back to our home. We'll visit Southgate Station, have them analyze what we just picked up. And believe it or not, viewer, it feels like I've been playing for an hour already to me, so I'll have to go check on the recording. I'm pretty good at guessing how long we've been playing for most of the time. I don't have a clock or anything like that around me, so I don't know for sure. I really should start bringing my little flip phone in here so I can see what time I start recording, but I don't. We're never going to talk to him about the Black Eel's killing her son. Alright, so let's see. So she'll buy the serpent skin. Let's do this. We'll sell these things. 24 stitching coins. Thank you, Katja. Okay, we take some more juice. Let's go to Dude's Cave Home first and see if he's selling more juice for us. Hey, dude, you are. Oh, can we talk to him maybe about any of this? Oh, we can talk about something new. I found a rug on the rig with a weaving identical to the symbol found underneath the rifts. Once I lifted the rug, I found the same teal symbol underneath it, burn marks as well. It looked as though the weaving somehow burned through the rug and into the floor. The rig rug, huh? You know, man, rugs are powerful things. Not only do they, like, tie rooms together, but they also keep your feet warm. Some can fly, and sometimes they're super awesome when you just want to, like, roll something into it and carry it with you. I wish I still had a rug. I lost the only one I ever had. That rug on the rig might just be yours, dude. I told you I lost mine, man, okay? Don't you ever listen? It can't be mine if I lost... Oh. Oh! Was the rig rug red? It's your rug, dude. I'm telling you. Was it red or not, man? Nod. With white weaving? Nod. Were there brew stains on it? Oh, I didn't check that. Maybe? Maybe? I think so? This rig rug. It could be my rug. Could be. It could also be like a fake rug. A trap. A trap made specifically to lure me into... a trap. Is someone after you? We're not like the only Riftwalkers, man, you know? There are nasty beings. Beings, man. From realities we couldn't even begin to fathom. And whom, like, strolling through the in-between is as simple as taking a train. Besides, I may have once or twice, like, done something like bad. Look, you forget about the rig rug, man. Now, I'll take care of it when the time's right, okay? I want my rug. I just gotta, like, think. Scratches his head and then takes a stress-relieving sip of brew. All right, dude. Talk to you later. Uh-oh. Good luck, dude. I hope you do mess up the courage to go and take it. But it could. He might be right. He's been right about crazy things before. All right. So to our house. And what did I bring with me here? Oh, okay. We have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. This goes here. We put all the creature bits there. We have a magazine. We also have a grenade launcher frame. It goes over here. Shotgun choke. Then we have a bunch of electronic bits. Hey, the beautiful thing about having all this stuff organized and sorted is that I know exactly where to go to place all of it when I actually want to pull some things out and craft. And that's super important because I don't want to spend a lot of time hunting around for a particular thing. So we have 7 of these. Oh, okay, hold on. We have a vehicle repair kit. Did I... we did fully repair our Blazer. Okay, we'll put this here then. I'm still at 95 weight. Oh, we have a... okay, we have a laser pistol. I did bring my normal spear with me down here this time. Are we fighting any other crabs? I don't intend to. So I'm going to leave our normal super steel spear behind temporarily. You're going to forget you have it there, though, Tim. It should go with your weapons. Sure, we'll put it here. Okay, let's go back to the merchant district really quick. See, what is weighing me down so much? It's these. No, that's only one pound, Tim. Alright, you're generally good. But we'll still go to the merchant district, put the laser pistol there, then go to Southgate Station and talk to... what is his name? I can't remember. The gentleman who's still dissecting the burrower is likely to be the person we want to bring the shard to. You are no longer walking around in the DLC. Alright, so Southgate Station. Oh, the shard might be weighing you down, Tim. Does it weigh anything? No. Hey, Quentin? Forgot something? Quentin, could you take a look at this for me? Show him the broken off spike. Huh. What is this? Steve. Steve? Yeah, a pirate. Pyrite? The pyrite is gold colored, while this is... No, not pyrite, the fool's gold. But the devilishly handsome outlaw that sails the waterways on an eternal quest for fine booty. He looks at the spike, clearly confused. Wait. This He raises it to eye level. This used to be a pirate. Yeah. The guy I broke this piece off of had been fully solidified by what I think is some kind of psionic force. Ah. I see what this is all about now. Well, psionics are always a possibility. So what do you reckon? Carefully inspect the sample. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of something you'd get as a result of pyrolysis. That's right, pyrolysis. What is pyrolysis? Pyrolysis is the process of thermal composition of organic materials in an inert atmosphere, meaning it's either performed in a vacuum or by using an inert gas instead of oxygen. If you thermally treat an organic carbon-based material in an inert atmosphere, the absence of reactive gases allow the material to undergo physical and chemical separation into different molecules. This is how you obtain things like biochar, for example. In the most extreme cases of pyrolysis, called carbonization, the end result is mostly carbon. Looking at the sample you brought me here, I'd say that is precisely what happened to the man this used to be a part of. I am no geologist, but carbon allotropes, different forms in which an element can exist, produced naturally through high pressure are things like diamond or graphite, the latter of which is formed in very thin, easily shearable layers. Here, the layers are fused together in an uneven fashion. That makes natural origin improbable. No. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced this is just a strangely shaped piece of pyrolytic carbon, similar to graphite, but artificial and imperfect. But if I understood correctly, pyrolyzation only works in the absence of oxygen, right? This guy was carbonized in the middle of a cave. Then the acting psionic force you suspect of somehow did not involve oxygen. May I ask where you found this carbonized man? He struck a psi monolith with a mining pick. A psi monolith? I've heard about strange pillars holding great psionic powers within them, but I've never seen one myself. There's one at the entrance of the Black Sea. Tall, angular, and brilliant structure whose presence warps perception. Difficult to describe. I can only imagine. You know, I wouldn't mind you telling me about these monoliths when you have the time, as you seem to know quite a few things about them. More than I do, that's for certain. Sure. Where were we? Carbonization, yes. So apparently when he, the pirate, struck the monolith, he unleashed some kind of psionic force which carbonized him, regardless of the surrounding atmosphere, most likely in an instant. Looking at the sample and basing my hypothesis on the things you've told me, that seems like the most plausible explanation. Well, that was all I needed to know. Thanks, Quentin. Anytime, Tim. You sure bring me some interesting things to study. Was there anything else you needed from me? Nope. Take care, Quentin. I don't think Ezra will know anything about it, but since it involves psionics, let's talk with him really quick, too. We have lots of flashing here. What happened here? Submarine stuff, complete 2 quests. Oh! I've heard that you can potentially gain a feat from talking with the ferrymen. Did we gain a feat and I didn't know? We did! Okay, we have philosophy. Dipping your feet into philosophy has given you a fresh outlook on life. Increases resolve by 15 and maximum psi points by 5. Nice. I think if you can navigate through the dialogues, or you have a high enough intelligence, you can unlock additional ranks of philosophy. I think intelligence of 8, we're limited to just 1 rank of it, so we would probably have to have more cerebrics to get more intelligence unlocks. Tim? Okay, see you later. He does not have anything related to the topic of this piece of Steve. So that leaves the ferryman as the other person who might be able to tell us more. Well, we don't need anything else from this area of Underrail. But we've been playing it. We gotta be playing for almost an hour, viewer. So let's go back to the Pirate Bay, and we'll just stop here. So thank you guys for watching. Hope it was fun. This was almost all talking. And in the next episode, we will hunt down the Theremin and potentially talk with him some more. At least we'll hunt him down. See about the spike. If you can tell us a little bit about it. Oh, actually, maybe we'll Katya. Can we talk to Katya about it? We cannot. Okay. So, yeah, we'll bring it to the Theremin, see if he has anything else to say, and that will be it. Alternatively, I wonder if this has some sort of interaction with Jaguar. I believe it was Vladimir. Well, we'll talk about that a little later, since I don't want to ruin it for anyone who doesn't know about the Savages and how the Fang interacts with them. So, we'll stop here. Thank you all for watching, and take care, everyone.